Hey Chris, is that you? Damn.
So I want to get into real estate, but don't know where to start.
Well, what I would say is to join the Future Cash Flow Club. It's a community of investors where we talk about wholesaling, we talk about creative deal structuring, buying houses subject to, all of the creative stuff that everybody's talking about. You don't need a real estate license or any of that.
Wow, where do I sign up?
Well, I would say go to futurecashflowclub.com. That's futurecashflowclub.com. You can even get a free trial. Try it out today.
Hey Chris, is that you? Damn.
Can you hear me? I don't know. If you don't know who I am by now, I don't know what you've been doing. You been asleep? Let me wake you up with something. Straight up. Yeah. Allow me to reintroduce myself. I'm Chris Monroe. R to the O-E. I flip houses, rent cars, and make money. You know I'm not no motherfucking dummy. This how we do. What's happening? What's happening? What's happening? This is the student master teacher, Mr. I Stay Woke, Chris Cashflow Money Monroe, and I'm right back at you with another real estate video. Today's broadcast is being brought to you by futurecashflowclub.com. If you're trying to learn real estate and you're serious, what are you waiting for? You sleep? Futurecashflowclub.com. You can join for as low as $10 a month. That's cheap to come in and get all the information that you would need to take the next step. You know, a lot of people want to get into real estate and they say, I got to know every little nook and cranny. I got to know exactly how to do everything on paperwork, exactly how to talk to every seller, exactly how to find everything, exactly how to do probates and stop auctions and all of this stuff. What you need to do is know whatever the next step is. If step one is identify a person who owns a property who needs help, that's your first step. We're going to find somebody who needs your help or needs help, period. That's what I call getting the fish on the hook. We want to find somebody who has a problem who owns real estate. Now, there's many problems that can come across when you're thinking about who has a problem with real estate. Disgruntled landlords. You know, these people ain't paying their rent. They be filing for evictions and all kind of stuff. You can go pull that list, as a matter of fact. Who's on the eviction list at your courthouse? You got people who are, they inherited property. Maybe they inherited a house that they don't want. A family member may have passed away and they got to go through probate. These things can be done. And many times with those, I find that they're not as sensitive on the price as some others because they don't have any emotional connection to it. It's just a house that was inherited. We don't want it, but if I gotta take it and deal with it because somebody died who owned the house. We just want the money out of it most of the time. But how much money is up for debate? Is up for negotiation. And sometimes they don't care. Hey man, I'm just trying to get 75,000 out of this. And you looking like, damn, ARV 250. Sign me up. Come on with it. That's what I'll be thinking. But you also have people who just may have their own personal house. Regular old mom and pop family. People getting divorced. Ooh, I forgot about that one. Divorce. Those people want to split and they want to cut ties quick as possible. The only thing is sometimes with those, it may be a little bit different when you're trying to do those creative deals. What's up, Shelby? What's going on? Good to see you. Happy Sunday fun day, the last day of the month of May of 2026. So the first of the month is tomorrow and people paying their rent. I don't do my rent on those days. I do my rent due on the 28th, late on the 1st. So if you haven't paid rent and you're listening and you got to pay me rent, you're going to be late tomorrow. I'm going to throw a late fee on there. And that's a little secret that people don't know about in this real estate game. When you're buying and holding real estate and renting it out, that late fee, that can add up to a lot of money over a year's time with multiple people. If they paying an extra $50, $100, $150 late fees, that money goes straight into hip pocket National Bank. You have to think of that as well if you're holding real estate, but you got to take on the responsibility and all the other stuff I'm talking about. So I want to welcome everybody that's new here that just may have jumped in for the first time. For those that don't know, my name is Chris Monroe. I'm out of St. Louis, Missouri. I've been doing real estate since 2018. I started wholesaling real estate, meaning I put a property under contract, under some paperwork, and assign that contract to somebody else and get paid a spread on the price difference. My first deal was $1,800, but what could you do with an extra $1,800 on a house that you never owned? I bet you can do something with it. That's where I started, got into the game, didn't wait around and ask a bunch of people, hey, you think this gonna work? You think it might work? And then as I go through the business, I ran into different situations just from wholesaling properties, meaning I was reaching out to people like absentee owners, vacant properties, for sale by owners, bought several of those, all these different issues that I've come across while I was hunting for a deal. I found different problems and scenarios. And so I started gaining the muscle as I go through these different problems. Found people with property that's not in their name. We had to do probate or do what's called an affidavit of heirship. Had to do creative deals like that. Had to do deals where people who did not have enough equity. So we couldn't do a cash wholesale deal. So we had to buy them creatively, meaning we either took over the payments of the property or bought the property seller financing, which is really my favorite, to be honest. Seller financing is my favorite because you are creating debt that isn't there. Taking over a property subject to, which a lot of people want to get into, is you got debt involved in it. You have a loan already there that somebody been paying on probably several months. As a matter of fact, I'm working with a lady right now. She I came across her a few months ago. I stopped her auction once, right, from pre-foreclosure, stopped the auction. Months go by and the bank basically decided that no, she cannot qualify for a partial claim. A partial claim is when they take the arrears, all the late fees, all the junk fees, and whatever they didn't pay, and put it on the back of the loan as a silent second. Most FHA loans will qualify for something like that. However, this particular person, this client, she did not qualify, and this is the first time I come across this. She did not qualify because she did not make any payments. They want to see that you've made at least 6 to 8 months of payments before you could even qualify for some type of repayment program like that. This particular situation, she was about 17 months behind in monthly payments before I come across her. So she bought a house, never made any payments, and just lived in it. and then she moved out and all these other things. So it just kind of made a big mess, but it can happen. These are some of the things that you will find when you're willing and dealing, helping people with real estate. Now, I'm still working that deal right now. We're putting it through a process called a short sale. I don't know if you were on a few months ago when we had David Randolph on, where we were talking about short sales, deep in the weeds of it. And what is a short sale, you say? A short sale is when you get the bank to agree to accept less as full payoff. So for example, they owe 150,000. We do some paperwork, some processes, and then they agree to accept 50,000 for the property. But they owed 150, but they're going to accept an offer of 50,000 as payoff in full. Now, why would a bank do that? Why would a bank take less than what's owed on the property? Because they already made their money anyway. They made money on origination fees. They made money on closing costs and different things like that. Points. They made money on the interest, because the first 14, 15 years of a 30-year mortgage is basically all interest, majority interest. More interest is being paid than in the principal. So let's just say, for instance, you take a house and you bought it for 150,000, since that's my number for the day. 150, $150,000 loan on a house, right? You are making payments of, let's say, $850. I'm making that up. You're making payments every month, $850. That particular payment of $850 is broken down by PITI. They call it principal, interest, taxes, insurance. They break every loan down into PITI. Principal, the balance, the $150,000. Interest, which is the money that the bank makes on that money, the profit that they're going to make for loaning you the $150,000. And they're going to loan it to you at, 7%, 8%, whatever they give them today. And then they have escrows, which is taxes and insurance. Taxes, because that's the top lien on a property in most jurisdictions, where if a property falls behind for not paying real estate taxes, it can be foreclosed on. The bank remedies that by not allowing you to not pay taxes. They pay taxes on your behalf once a year and charge you whatever that amount is divided by 12 every month. So basically, if you got a $2,400 annual tax bill, they're going to charge you $200 a month to cover that tax bill in your taxes part. Same thing with insurance. So we got the principal, interest, taxes, insurance. When you get to the insurance, that's I think Justin's favorite one. Insurance, because if you don't have that, you're really in trouble. Insurance, they're going to do the same thing. They're going to pay for it annually up front, hazard insurance, that is, meaning flood, fire, storm, stuff like that. They want to pay for that yearly and charge you 1/12 every month for a year. That's how they protect their asset. So they get the principal, what they loaned you, the interest, the profit they're making from what they loaned you, the taxes to protect their interest in the event you don't pay the taxes. They don't want to lose the asset to a tax sale. That'll be stupid, right? And then you got insurance just in case it burns down, a tornado hits it, like they did in North St. Louis over here about a year ago. What was that? May 16, 2025, something like that. They want to make sure you don't lose the asset. So it's totally protected when it comes to these deals. They have to be protected. It's smart on their behalf. And sometimes even hard money lenders do the same thing or something similar. If you take a hard money loan, they want you to pay up the annual insurance up front. On a house I flipped back over here in Florissant, they made me pay the $1,800 up front for a full year of insurance. Even though I didn't have the house for a full year, I had to pay $1,800 and something up front for insurance and then get reimbursed after we sold that property after about 6 months.
Yo.
Then going on when it comes to the real estate. So, banks got to protect themselves. You must protect yourself. What safeguards do you put on yourself to protect yourself from losing money, losing the asset, things like that? And so coming back to the insurance part, any event you don't put insurance on it, the bank will put something on it called force-placed insurance. And force-placed insurance is no good. Why is that, Justin? What's bad about force-placed hazard insurance if a bank puts it on?
The price is up extremely high. So it's not going to be the cheapest rate that you can get in the marketplace. They're going to find literally the highest insurance and send you a bill for it.
And they smiling all the way to the bank. So hazard insurance, that's force place insurance, costs more, but here's the kicker. It don't even cover you. It only covers the asset. You get nothing. Let's just say you don't have insurance for some reason. Say you just didn't buy it. Whatever, something happened, is not on the property. And a tornado hits like it did back here a year ago in 2025. Tornado hits. They have force place insurance. That protects the asset. That has nothing to do with you. That's the sad part. Force place insurance is specifically for the bank, has nothing to do with the borrower or anybody else. It's just a simple way for them to protect their asset. And it's smart, you know, they do things smart. So I always say, if you're going to get into this game, do some of the things that the bank do. Is the bank smart? I mean, they're making money, right? They've been around a long time. The banks lending out money on a secured asset is really the safest thing they can do as far as lending. And so, you know, real estate is one of those things where you just have to understand everybody's position. Not even really everybody, just understand there is a position for everybody. How about that? What's going on, Big Justin? What you working on this week? Anything hot on the presser?
Got some rehab like stuff to put to the table. The property I'm taking over, the tenant to be out today, quote unquote. He's really trying to milk it low key. We agreed that he'll be out Sunday. He's trying to leave a bunch of stuff in the house. And then he talking about, yeah, can you come pick up his dog after he get off work tomorrow? And I'm like, you said the first, you know, I'm here to change the locks.
So wait a minute. He's going to leave a pile of junk in your house. What do you plan on doing with all that stuff, Justin?
Getting rid of it.
Are you going to charge him, or are you just going to say it's part of the game? Call it part of your entry fee.
Yes, I don't think I'm in position to charge him, you know. So, I mean, I'm technically his, you know, kind of not his landlord in a way, you know what I'm saying? Even though I'm taking over the property. So, I don't know.
Yeah, it's one of those things where it's kind of a gray area. It's a gray area, and if you, you know, you have to me, I feel like it's part of the entry fee. If I got to get a house and it might have some junk in it, just count, you know, $500 as part of it or something, whatever it costs to clean it out, if not less. Unless you got a hookup. You got to hook up on some clean outs?
Yeah, of course I got some hookups on clean outs. We're on that way over there tomorrow.
We about to start a clean out business, Justin. You playing, man.
We should start a clean out business. I got the niggas.
That's what he said. Oh, he got the ends. So yeah, this that's what we got. So what's going on, Big Lonnie?
What's up with you, man?
Oh, I didn't know you was driving. You really driving. I thought you were just looking ahead. You driving. I can't talk to you that much while you driving.
Yeah, I'm in Vail, Colorado right now.
Oh, let's get you a deal over there too. No, I'm just playing.
I'm trying to. I had found some spots out there in Vegas. Well, not Vegas. Where I was at Boise, and then I went down to Salt Lake City, and I found some auction houses and phone numbers, and it was the right phone numbers. I called a couple of times, left messages, but I didn't get no response yet. But I did work. I did work this week though.
Can I tell you a secret, Lonnie?
Yes, sir.
Out west, they're a little bit more competitive. You see how that first one you went and knocked on the door. She said, "Hey, I already knocked on the door. I already talked to some people. They be fighting for deals out there. They're a little more hungry.
They hungry out there in that west. West, especially like what I noticed, like in Idaho, a lot of people moving from California to Boise. So they was telling me a lot of people moving from California to you know what I mean? Because the property's cheaper.
I was going to say, why would they leave California? Why would people leave California when they got the best weather? I heard.
And they doing a lot of building out there in Idaho. Them taxes, you know, California be want a lot of stipulations on stuff, man. They be kind of tripping.
Yeah.
You know, taxes and different. You know what I mean? And even your exhaust with cars, you know, they got certain exhaust systems on your cars that they don't want, you know what I mean? for you to have out there. They just got a lot of stuff. You know what I mean? That there's this. And it's super expensive.
Did you knock any more doors out there?
Yeah, I knocked on probably like 2 or 3 more doors, but nobody was home. So I left a note. On like 2 of them. I found the phone number on all 3 of them. I called them, left messages, but I ain't get no response back yet.
Yeah. Well, only thing you can do is try, right?
Yep, and then I went to Salt Lake City after that. I did the same thing. I found a couple spots down there, called them.
Claiming that his business manager scammed him out of 100.
Justin sent me a video.
Who did?
Justin. He always got something. He know what be going on in the streets.
Man, Justin got his ear to the streets.
So
yeah, I still been trying, man. I still been trying, and
yeah, California.
You trying or you doing?
Well, I've been doing. I just ain't been coming up with nothing.
And so you knocked on how many doors when you were there?
In Boise?
In life.
Huh?
In life.
In life, how many doors I knocked on?
Yeah. In the last 7 days.
In the last 7 days, probably 4 or 5.
Oh, that ain't bad then. You in the right direction. You did more than most people. Some people don't do none.
Hell yeah, and I went to 2 different cities. I went from Boise, Idaho to Utah, to Salt Lake City, knocking on doors.
What are you
Then I went to a van, a cargo van, and then I went to...
What is it that you're transporting?
Some lights and some kind of lighting equipment for some kind of something. I don't know what it's for.
Oh.
Ain't no Mexicans back there, is it?
No, but I gotta go to New Jersey. I had to get this in Las Vegas, and I gotta go to New Jersey.
New Jersey. Oh, hell no. That's across the country.
Yeah.
New Jersey probably got a lot of foreclosures.
Now I was gonna knock on doors in Las Vegas, but as soon as I got there, I got a load. I had to get up out of there.
Las Vegas. You was out there throwing dice. I seen you.
Man, I was in Las Vegas a good 2 hours. I came down from Salt Lake City, and I was in Las Vegas 2 hours, and had to go.
How much money you win out there?
How
much money you win out there?
Man, I ain't win nothing. I ain't playing. I ain't playing.
But if you did play, what would you have played?
What would I play? If I do sport, only thing I was into was sports betting. I don't know how to, dice. I guess you just throw the dice. But Vegas, I've been to Vegas a lot of times. I ain't never gambled out there.
Let me make sure I'm getting this right, Lonnie. You telling me you do sports betting and you didn't bet that Wemby was gonna win yesterday?
I didn't even bet that Wemby was gonna win.
Never mind.
No, I didn't bet.
Oh man, never mind.
I didn't.
What's the best bet you can make though?
Win on what? On sports period?
What's the best bet you can make?
No bet.
The best bet you can make is on yourself.
Oh yeah.
Bet on you.
I'm thinking about not playing that stuff at all, because once you get into it, you might feel like you win, but that's what they want you to do. But it's true. The best bet is on yourself.
For sure.
The best bet is on yourself. But one thing about that sports betting stuff, man might got into it with his girlfriend, might got into it with his mama. You know what I'm saying? Ain't no telling, man. And then they supposed to have a certain amount of points, don't have them. Man, that stuff be crazy. Refs be involved.
That's sure.
Chris, you gamble?
Royal flush on my arm, man. She say I talked to someone at the FL and they said fluorescent is nice. Fluorescent. Yes, fluorescent is this here. Fluorescent. That's when you know somebody from out of town, they say fluorescent, but it's fluorescent spelled like that kind of. But yeah, It's I think it's one of the top 10 cities in America for the blacks. That's what they say. I saw that on a YouTube video, and I was surprised because it was like, oh, these are the best cities for black people, raise families, da 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 da. And it had like number 6 was Florissant. I said, Florissant, Missouri? Oh, you gotta be kidding me! It came up on the list, the top 10 there, Justin. You'll be surprised.
And shootings.
Oh no, come on, not that. St. Louis ain't got no crime, man. We safe. Actually, you know what, though, Justin? When you look at the news. Because the other day I was looking at the basketball game, but I couldn't see it here locally because I got this like super box thing. So I was watching in like Buffalo, New York, or some city, right? But it was the basketball game. So it's NBC on all, everywhere across the United States. I happened to be there. When it went off, the news came on. They had all stuff on it. I was like, damn, they got more crime than us. And that's not the first time that's happened. That happened when I went to Atlanta too. I'm like, oh, Atlanta, this, and that. So the one time I went there, this was some years ago, it was like 6 people got shot or something in one shooting. I was like, golly, America bad.
Yeah, I mean, crime is lower than it's ever been. No matter what they say, we live in the most civilized society ever in history, bar none. So even though the news will have you thinking that crime is at an all-time high, it's actually not. People,
but it's bad though. Whether it's high or low, when you start looking at the news in different cities, you're like, golly, we ain't the only one going through this mess. The news will have you shaking in your boots. That's right.
I mean, St. Louis always stay, top 3 as far as the murder rate. You know what I'm saying? About
why?
Murder. You said why?
Why?
Black fatherhood.
Oh my God! No, hold on. We're not gonna blame the fatherhood. Could it be the way they count the people? Because St. Louis County and St. Louis City, they only count the city.
So it might be a lot worse than what I thought it was if they separated.
Might be.
Yeah.
But they try to put these crime stats. Hold on, let me look and see. Let's see the most dangerous cities in America. What
Detroit,
do you think?
St. Louis, and probably Atlanta might be creeping up in that third right now.
Most dangerous cities in the U.S. All right, are you ready? Damn, I don't even want to click on it, man. It's gonna be depressing. I already see it. Let's see what we got. Most dangerous cities. So you do your real estate here. That don't mean you can't do a deal here. So all I did was type in
Memphis.
Most dangerous cities in the U.S. Now, I don't know how Memphis got up on top of the list here. Memphis, Tennessee, tops the list of the most dangerous cities in the U.S. with violent crime approximately 2437 incidents per 100,000 residents. Then guess who come up next?
St. Louis. We're right down the street from each other.
4 hours or less. Come on, if you're speeding. St. Louis continues to rank among the top, characterized by rates of aggravated assault and homicide.
Yep, there go Detroit.
There's Detroit. That's where y'all at.
I knew Baltimore was in there. Look at number 4. Baltimore. I got it.
Baltimore.
B more.
Freddie Gray. Baltimore. New Orleans.
New Orleans people are very spiritual people. I'm surprised that they, do the amount of shooting and stuff that they do out there.
But Justin, can you do a deal in one of these markets?
Of course I could do a deal anywhere.
But what if it's high crime?
I don't care about crime.
So you telling me crime won't stop a deal from happening?
I'm about to put somebody in a house right now in the trenches. Watch in the next 3 days.
You just know it, huh?
I just,
Because people got to live somewhere. It's something called affordable housing.
Some people good in the hood. They comfortable in the hood.
Damn, Memphis is literally number 1 for real. Like it made number 1. Number 1, Memphis. Number 2, Oakland. They say on here.
Damn, Oakland. Wow. California.
Detroit became a good city now.
No, it hasn't.
Alexandria, Louisiana. Only been there once. Then Louisiana. Then
LA creeping up. There's all that homeless stuff.
Yeah.
All that homeless.
Then we're going to Cleveland, where they just got swept. Then Monroe, Louisiana. Come on. Why are they messing with the Monroes? Haters gonna hate. Then Baltimore, Maryland, number 9. Then Little Rock. I had a lead in Little Rock. I looked at their estimate. It said 14,000. I said, that's the lowest estimate I ever seen.
Wow. Illinois be having some low estimates too. They be having like $2,000, $2-3 grand. I ain't never seen hundreds, but they always have Lowe's estimates.
Atlantic City, New Jersey, then Pueblo, Colorado. Only thing I know about Pueblo is when Grant Cardone did that show there that time when he was like, drop me anywhere and I'll make money or something like that.
He killed it. Did you watch the whole thing?
Yeah, he killed that thing. Slayed
Yeah.
him. Detroit population has grown. Okay, so that messes up the numbers. If the population go up per 100,000 people, that changes up your crime stats.
Well, we losing population. That's in St. Louis. We losing population. More people are exiting the city than actually entering the city in St. Louis.
Yeah. Then you got Beeham, Birmingham, Alabama. Then Tacoma, Washington. I didn't know that was up there. Damn. And then we had to come on back to the Midwest. Kansas City made the top 15. That's crazy.
That is crazy.
Oh, I didn't even tell you right here all the stuff. I ain't know.
I've never even seen a hood in Kansas City. I've never been like driving through Kansas City at all, besides like the capital and stuff.
What about Camden, New Jersey?
I don't know nothing about these places.
Dayton, Ohio, Louisville, Kentucky. Why every time you see the word Louis is Louis, but except St. Louis is St. Louis? Why is that?
Great point.
Only St. Louis is St. Louis. Probably St. Louis. We just been
I have
saying
a property on Louise.
Louisville, Myrtle Beach, South Carolina. Damn, we got to go to the beach in this high crime. Indianapolis, Twin Cities, where they shooting people and stuff with the ice back in the day, a couple months ago.
You got them twin cannons.
I ain't never even heard of Anniston, Alabama. You know they bad. All they show is a stoplight. Trouble.
Sweet home Alabama.
Spartanburg, South Carolina. Baton Rouge, down there where Boosie. Ain't that where Boosie from?
Oh, okay. I'm surprised Baton Rouge so far down. I thought it'd be a little bit higher. The way they
be going out to Albuquerque, New Mexico, and top
Albuquerque.
it off. Number 25, the highest crime, Kalamazoo, Michigan.
They number one?
No, number 25.
25?
Yeah, we went through all the top few was St. Louis.
St. Louis stay in the top 3.
St. Louis.
So look, this is where they got me at, y'all. Look.
We can't see.
Wait a minute.
Can't see it?
Yeah, I can see it. Oh, you out in the mountains.
Go knock on some of them doors.
Man, knock on some of them doors right there.
That's that generational wealth right there. Don't crash.
Yeah, you better put that thing back on that mountain.
You over the lines right now, ain't you?
Nah. Hey, you ain't hear that. You ain't hear that.
I can't be no truck driver. I get sleepy.
Man, it's like that's the only place I really don't get sleepy at.
Dang, you a beast.
Well, I'm sitting at home. I'm just What up, Chris?
Let me hold 100,000.
Man, if I had it, man, hey, look. Be good. Hey, it be good as yours.
Oh, I was asking Trill. You gonna let me? I was asking him. You gonna loan it, Lonnie? Okay.
Yeah, I'd loan it to you if I had it. Sure, no doubt.
What about you, Justin?
100 large.
How would you lend out that 100,000?
How would I lend out?
Would you lend it out? And if you did, how would you?
I mean, through real estate, I would do it for sure.
What do you mean when you say through real estate?
If they're somebody need it for it, like for a deal or a situation and stuff, and I'm able to get 10% of my money, something crazy like that. Yeah, we'll do it all day.
So you saying the only way you lending the money is if it's secured by real estate?
Yes, sir. All day.
Number one answer.
That video I just sent you, they go into detail how Floyd started, pulling like 16 grand and properties, his personal home. He pulled out $16,000 and for a loan, a hard money loan at that. And then the property is actually he secured the loan with the property. I was like, a fool that his money will soon part ways. Floyd done got himself into something, boy, something crazy.
That's true.
What Floyd do? He mess up something?
Yeah, so our guy JT is actually from St. Louis and everything. And JT has this video online. If you go to him, it's called Pocket Watchers. and he's pulled like the court docs and stuff because Floyd is in a $175 million lawsuit with two guys. The two guys basically all alleged. The two guys basically allegedly swindled the money from underneath Floyd, took his empire and basically hollowed it out. But Floyd, with the lavish lifestyle that he's living, obviously cash reserves start to go down. Once the cash reserves kind of expire and he need money to, maintain a certain lifestyle, he started, instead of selling off his assets, he started allegedly taking loans against his assets. So, Floyd Mayweather has one of the most expensive watch collections out there. He started getting loans against his jewelry. Instead of selling his jewelry, he started getting loans against his jewelry. That was one. Then he started.
I mean, is that a bad thing though? If you need to pull some money out, would you rather get a loan against your asset or sell the asset altogether?
So it's the perfect example of no matter how much money you generate, you cannot maintain, the lavish lifestyle unless it makes sense business wise. It's like having a personal private jet. The only people who maintain private jets are businesses or institutions. Verizon Wireless, AT&T. These corporations, they maintain private jets. Personal individuals do not maintain private jets.
Is his name itself a corporation?
Well, he got Mayweather Promotions or whatever, but if you know about boxing and everything, they just kind of create these LLCs. They don't have no offices, no employees, none of that stuff. They just have a LLC.
So tell me if he sell, by him already being in financial trouble, if he sell any of those assets, what about the taxes and the capital gains on that stuff?
Well, he'll have to calculate this stuff. Obviously, it's going to be at a loss because of the taxes, and they're going to tax him as far as earned income. So it's better for him to go down to a point to where his money is able to, like, the way to live. If you generate that much money, you need to live off of the interest of your money. Your money working for you. You need to maintain that. If you have $17 million in reserve, you put that in the market, and then that $17 million is paying you 9% every year. The S&P 500, whatever. You live within that framework. Never touch the 17 million. Only live off of the interest that your money is accruing. But if you choose to live outside of that, it's only a matter of time before you go broke.
Okay.
So he took loans against his property. Wow.
Yep, he took loans against allegedly his jewelry collection, which is at least probably $100 million, his personal home, and then he was, basically extracting just a bunch of loans. He just took in advance, all alleged, against his Manny Pacquiao fight that he's now signed up for. But knowing Floyd Mayweather, he's going to fix this whole situation by making $1 billion fighting Manny Pacquiao.
Yeah.
He got some fights coming up, don't he?
He got supposed to be a fight against Mike Tyson, which is an exhibition. And then he also is fighting that guy who's basically a nobody, put some cash in his pocket. But the main creme de la creme fight is going to be the fight against Manny Pacquiao in September on Netflix. And, he's going to generate $1 billion. I mean, that's what he's going to do. He going in there like 50 years old, though.
He's going to go in there and mess up his record.
Mess up his legacy.
Don't be like Mike Tyson trying to fight at 65 years old or whatever old he is.
Yeah, can't be Father Time.
But shit, Manny the same age as he is.
Yeah, Manny is actually a little bit older than him, but Manny Pacquiao has been active. He's had fights recently. Floyd haven't fought in about a decade.
No,
other than them exhibition fights, which don't count.
So is this considered a real fight? We'll
see. He gotta do something to get He gotta do something to get that money.
What he gonna make on this fight?
Right.
He probably make like $500,000 to $1 million. For this exhibition, he's probably gonna make $500,000 to $1 million.
On this exhibition, that's it.
On this exhibition, yeah, but the Manny Pacquiao is the one that's really gonna generate him.
Stocks, dividend stocks, and
Man,
high yield
Floyd,
savings accounts.
you
That's what
spend too much.
he need to get a great accountant and lawyer. Does he have any cash flow coming in? He need to see
Too much
Chris Monroe.
spending.
And my
Floyd,
man,
Floyd Mayweather has claimed to have skyscrapers in New York, different stuff like that before, but I don't know. He just has this persona. Like, one thing I thought that was smart that he did is he apparently bought a 200 unit apartment complex out there in New York. So apparently they got the apartments back to back to back on different streets and stuff. And it's like 200 units or something like that. And he claimed to have purchased it all himself, cash. He don't need no money. He's big, Floyd Mayweather, Money Mayweather, and all of that stuff. But it came out that, people are smarter than they used to be. They could look up these things. So he looked up the deed, found out that the deed has not been transferred. So Floyd did not actually purchase that particular property. But what he did do was purchase like 12% of that portfolio.
I was going to say, did he say he bought it, or people said he bought it?
He said he bought it. He went on camera and said, I just bought these properties, this whole thing by myself, cash. That's what he claimed. Oh. And then his lawyer came out, was like, no, he bought 12% of the portfolio.
So he invested in a REIT.
That's crazy.
Investment trust, probably.
Yep.
Yeah.
I think bro's a big. I think he's a big gambler. I think he's a big gambler too.
Yeah.
Yeah. My thing is, why you gotta own the whole thing? Why you have an opportunity to teach people that these type of things are possible? That, hey, you can go in and you don't have to. With him buying, let's say 12% of the portfolio, he don't have to manage the property. He don't have to do the accounting. He don't have to do any of the other things and stuff. So he can keep letting them work, and then he received the return on his investment. Sometimes that's a great position to be in. Everybody want to be the front runner, the worker. Chris don't work. Chris say he ain't doing no work.
Yes, I do.
Chris doing the investing.
I work 2 days out the week.
Chris doing the investing.
Hey, and speaking of work and stocks, like she say here, stock portfolio up. I sold some stock that I never should have sold. I look back, I said, damn, I should have kept that. Everything up. But that's just for right now.
These mounds, I gotta be careful of these mounds, boy.
All right. So cool. Trill, what you been working on? Anything good?
Hard on the bill.
Not really. I've been slacking.
Oh, really?
Work, man.
Why you been slacking?
Work, life be lifing.
And this is why we do the accountability each and every Sunday night, 7 o'clock Central Time, 8 o'clock Eastern, to reel you back in, because life gonna pull you every which way. But if you stay focused on the goal, focused on the cash flow, you can make it happen. What would you like to be doing in real estate anyway?
I want to go and be like you and Justin.
But what is that? What would you like to do?
Get some of them properties and do some tenant, what I do to lease the homes and all that.
What make you want to do that?
So I can stop working, like physically working every day like I am. Give me some cash flow going, man. Give me some of them checks.
I mean, so what is it that you feel is like the stopping point that's making it where you can't get the properties so that you can do what you want to do with real estate?
It's just me, just the time. Just I need to focus more of my time on doing that, actually, like finding some properties and calling people, talking to people.
I told Trill you need to go ahead and buy his auntie house.
Yeah. Buy TT house.
It's still on the market too. They probably drop. Yeah, my wife got it on the market, man.
Whoa! I'm about to send an offer right now.
Go ahead, man.
Why is it on the market still?
You got the price too high.
And that's because of the agent or her or who?
Both. It's actually her for real, but
Don't blame your wife like that. Say, Bo.
Let's just bring it back to the beginning.
Uh,
Why are they selling anyway?
She just bought a big old house in Florissant. And her house, the house now on sale that she's selling is in Moline Acres. It's in a better part of Moline Acres, but it's in Moline Acres, and it's a nice size house. It's like 1,900 square feet, 3 bed, 2 bath. It's a big house, but it's just the area, and she wants too much for it. She's trying to get 210 for it right now. And
let me make sure I'm getting this correct, though. Why are they selling? See, I want to be specific with this
question. Why is she selling?
Why are they selling? Yes.
She's selling, like I said, because she just bought another house, a big old house, and she wants to take the money from her old house and put it into the one she just bought, basically.
So she don't want to make 2 payments. Am I getting that correct?
Exactly. She don't want 2 mortgages. Yeah.
That could be your house right there. That's the deal you can get in right there.
That's a plan, but
you don't want 2 payments. You take over that payment.
That's a plan. But only thing is, my wife is the agent on it, so.
So what does that mean?
She wanted to go. My aunt wanted to go because she wanted to go through her first, basically.
Let me make sure though. I want to be very clear here. I don't want to speed through this. Why is that? How does that stop anything? You can still buy that house. Going through the agent does not. That agent being there does not prevent you from being able to do a deal.
Mm-hmm.
Am I making that clear, or is it?
Yeah. I mean, me and Justin talked about that. We talked about
it. That's something I don't know about. Is there a reason that the agent would stop the deal from going through?
No.
Because what does the agent care about? Their commission, right?
Yeah.
What does the seller care about? Selling the property, right? What if everybody get exactly what they want?
Yeah.
This is what we do in real estate. We identify what they want and find a way to get them that.
Yeah.
Now you said they want 210 for the property. What's the ARV or after repair value of this property?
Probably about, what do you think? Just about 160, 70.
So how do you go up to 210?
I don't know. Man, I don't even know. You saying something, Jeff?
No, he muted.
Okay. I don't know. That's what you just thought of it, man.
These are questions we have to ask, though. See, if I skip the question, I won't understand the lesson. Ooh, that's a rhyme. I don't want to skip the question. I got to ask that question so I can understand. Because if I don't understand, we can't come up with a plan. Ooh, another rhyme. We have to truly understand what's going on. So,
and I got to figure out how to bring that to her. Like, it's gonna have to be like a creative type thing, I think.
Yeah.
I just got to figure out how to get that, related to her. But I don't want, that's my aunt, and I don't want her to feel like,
Well, we're not trying to bring anything to her first. We need to understand her first. See, that's why I want to make sure it's very clear. And this could be my auntie, my cousin, my sister, anybody. We need to first understand, what are you trying to accomplish before we try to offer something. Oh, I can do this creative thing. No. What are you trying to do? They say, I'm just trying to get $8,000 so I can put in my thing. Then they say, oh, okay. So you telling me if you was able to get $8,000 to put into your thing, you would sell the house and be done with it. Am I getting that correct? Now that we've identified that that's what they want, we get them the $8,000, we take over the house in the creative fashion that you're talking about. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Because just offering something don't mean anything. We have to identify what they're trying to do and give them a solution to their problem. But if we don't come with a solution to their problem, well, first, if we have to identify their problem, we can't give a solution to the problem. So that's our first step. Understanding what they're truly trying to do. I mean, if we know the number's too high, everybody knows it's too high. If it's on the market, the marketplace says it's too high.
Anybody with eyes to see that's too high.
You say what, Justin?
Anybody with eyes see that's too high.
Yeah, I don't even think nothing sell for 210 in Moline Acres.
Yeah.
I don't know. Maybe I could be incorrect, but I mean, I know that's the top.
It's a nice house, though, man. It's a nice house. Justin been there.
I told him it'd be perfect for Airbnb, and he can cash flow it and give her some money and stuff. And she already got it. He already got the relationship. She already got it furnished. He don't have to move a single thing. Just list on Airbnb and get the ride.
What she say right here? How much is left on the loan?
I think she owe like maybe 100.
Oh,
Maybe
they
100.
trying to pull 100 grand out this house then? Well, there's always still a way to solve a problem, just depending on the situation and the deals and the numbers. And so I guess they haven't had any offers at all, or they just like
No, it's been on the market for like a month now, and she didn't had a bunch of people come look at it, but she ain't got no offers yet. So they about to drop the price, I think next week.
They're gonna drop it by 100.
No,
that's probably the real number, something closer to that 120 mark, something like that.
I don't think they're gonna drop it that far. They probably gonna go for like.
Let me ask this.
Market is always right.
I know obviously we have a different skill set that we bring to the table, right? How do we exit deals if let's say we're getting older or whatever, we trying to wrap it up, we trying to get out. Let's say I decide to move out of St. Louis and a couple of my houses are, in bad areas and stuff. How do we prevent ourselves from being like these other sellers who want too much for their property and end up sitting on them, for hundreds of days and stuff? Like, do you think just sell it creative and see how much money a person could bring to the table and then financing the rest? But, or, what I'm saying? How do we liquidate our portfolios and stuff? Maybe that's
yeah, that's a good question, Justin. Number one, you said in a bad area. First, I would stay out of the bad areas. That just make everything 20 times harder. Just that one thing right there, that's an elephant in the room. If possible, stay out of it. But if somebody gave you a house, basically, we could work a play on somebody giving me a house. But generally, I'm trying to stay out of the bad area. But let's just say you're in a bad area or the area became bad over time, because that can happen. We just saw those crime stats a second ago. Yeah,
I would think that for Moline Acres that probably was actually a pretty decent area, 20, 30 years ago. You know what I'm saying? So I can see where the house went down. You know what I mean? Like the neighborhood went down, and of course the house, all tides rise.
It was a good area 33 years ago, actually, Justin. Castle Point, which is right across the street from Moline Acres, was a great area too back then, but not anymore. Those houses over there, they cheap. You're too close to a bad area. Not saying you can't pull money out of it, because I've seen houses over there go for money. You can still flip houses over there and everything else, but if you're trying to get top dollar, you got to be in a top good school zone. A good school district changes everything in real estate. And that's one of the biggest things we fight as real estate investors. Can you get into an area where the schools are good? And most places don't have good schools. And then that ain't even counting the crime and all the other stuff, but the schools is the number one choice. If you get in like Lindbergh School District or Clayton or one of those like that, those grade A areas. But if you're talking about liquidating a property, creative solves all those problems that I can tell. You could always sell it at a so-called loss, but you shouldn't be at a loss if you cash flowed it for multiple years. Like you say, you want to get out of the business or whatever. I see people come up all the time with packages. I got 27 houses in a package. They want to liquidate. They want to retire. Good luck. How many people buying packages like that? How many fingers you got? Not even 10 people. You know what I mean? In a certain market. Most people don't buy packages like that unless they're like out-of-state investors or they're doing it for some tax reasons or some, stuff like that. So it just makes it very hard to liquidate those properties and you're in a bad area. It just makes it difficult.
So you said we in these mugs.
Well, I mean, it could always turn around too, because let's just say you was over here on Manchester down there where the little bars and stuff over there, the Grove. Back 20 years ago, that was the hood. People was getting killed, shot, and all kind of bad stuff was going on over there. Matter of fact, that's where Cedric the Entertainer is from, over in that area. That area used to be bad back in the 90s and the 80s or whatever. Now you can't take over there for $400,000. You starting at $400,000 for a simple building.
Right.
So,
girl, I think you need to, pull your auntie to the side, man, and be like, "Hey, look, I want to do this thing. We're gonna make some money. Let's do it."
Have that conversation with her.
To start off,
with her?
No, I said that's what I need to do though, and I know she gonna be, because she trusts me, and she gonna be with it. I just don't want.
You don't want to mess up. You're scared.
Exactly.
But you got a team here. You can't mess up. How you gonna mess up? Tell me one way you can mess up.
I don't know. I ain't gonna explain some shit right and
don't explain nothing. Don't explain a thing. Just get her to say, are you even open to hearing it? And
Right.
get Justin on the phone. He'll help her, or I'll help. Either way. You don't have to explain it. That's the thing. That's why you come to this every week. You have a team. You have help. So you don't have to say, oh, I don't know what the paperwork to use. Well, I don't know what thing to use. That's why you have people like us that close deals on a regular basis.
Mm-hmm.
You don't have to know every little nook and cranny. I don't even know all nook and cranny. I send it to the title company, let them do their job. They might come back and say, oh, it's got title work or title issues or whatever. We don't know. There's always something that comes up in real estate. That's the fear of the unknown. And I understand it is a real thing, but you have to throw it away. Say, hey, we're just going to figure it out. Whatever come up, we're going to figure it out. We're going to get you to the next step, get you to the finish line.
Y'all ever done anything with y'all family members like that? Like doing something, taking over some of their properties or something, stuff too, or anything like that with a family member?
Justin?
I've placed family members inside of my properties. I had a situation where my uncle was telling me about he was trying to buy this van, and he said that what did he say? He said he was trying to buy this van. Said his cousin father had passed away, and I say, did he have a house? And he said, yeah, he actually did. So we're in the kitchen of my house, talking about how her father passed away and she just got the probate letters to be able to sell the house. I said, give me her number. So I had that, got on the phone with her, sent her over an offer. I don't know her though. She's not like, that's the closest thing to like a family member and doing deals and stuff like that. So she had some particular problems and stuff. I sent the offer. We didn't close though. But she is a part of my follow-up. But I do stuff with my family all the time, as far as like I got maybe about 3 family members in 3 of my properties and stuff right now. I haven't taken over someone's mortgage. I probably at some point will take over my mom's mortgage, for example, and put her in another place. So, cash flow her house and stuff. So, just stuff give you a lot of options for real, man. But it's really hard to mess up, to be real with you.
And that's why I asked that question. What can you tell me? What can you mess up? And then we avoid that. Like you said,
get her to agree, and then you can do the Airbnb thing, or you could post it and see if you can find somebody who want to move in it and stuff. And if you make a payment to your auntie, for example, I mean, somebody gonna at minimum give you $5,000 to move into the house, minimum.
I think she's at the point too right now where she just want to get from under the mortgage. Like she just don't want 2 mortgages right now. That's where
I said to ask the question. Don't assume anything. Don't think. Don't even say, "Oh, it's my family." What would you like to happen? And let them tell you. I just want to sell it. I don't want to have to make that mortgage payment next month because it's coming up tomorrow. A lot of mortgage payments due tomorrow, the first of the month, and a lot of people don't want to make it.
Sure, you're a hard worker, man. You can cover that $600 payment that you got. That ain't nothing.
What? I'll take that over. Sign it over here.
I bet you she owe nothing but like $600 on that house. She probably been in there 20 years.
She had been there 20 years.
Oh man, she got a 4% interest rate, 4.5% interest rate. She paying $650 a month on that big house. You can make that a boarding house. How many rooms in that house? That house got 3 floors, all finished. That you did the work on it. You deserve that house.
What?
I did some work, bro.
So don't think of
I hear you, bro.
But don't think of it as just being family. That should be a thing that brings you closer. You know the person. It ain't like, oh, I don't know Joe Smith over here. You know them.
Yeah.
Just first ask, what are they trying to do? What would be a perfect scenario for them? I mean, what are they, things like that. Understand them. Ask questions to try to understand what they're trying to do. I just didn't have to make that payment. I'd be so happy. So what if there was a way you didn't have to make that payment anymore? Well, and then she's going to say, well, how you going to do that? Get on the phone with Justin. He'll break it down. You ain't got to try to explain that. I'm just saying the truth. Why we overthinking this stuff?
I mean, that's what I did with the other property. That's the first thing I did. But that would seem like that was easier because I didn't know him. I just got the information. I was like, all right, I'm going to call Justin. And I took him over.
Thing. Don't overthink it. I'm glad you said what you just said. This is why we do business as a system and process. We want to repeat the same system and process every time. When I talk to a seller, hey, yeah, you're looking to sell? How much you looking to get? They give me a price. Great. What you got going on there? They tell you what they got going on there. That can be anywhere. That's a vague question. They can tell you about, oh, I need a roof. Oh, I don't need no work. Oh, there's tenants. We don't know which way they're going to go. I want to open the door and let them tell me all the things that's on their mind. Because what I'm thinking don't matter. What you thinking right now don't matter. What do they think?
And Trey, this is the other thing too, is man, we're integrable people and stuff too. So, I know it's easy to, see a whole bunch of stuff out there and think like, it's a lot of people who are not integrable in the space. Let's call it for what it is.
Yeah.
The one you line me up with the deal with, that man called me all the time. He's ready to go. He like, yeah, have we talked to the title company? People are excited because we are providing a solution for them that they're not getting nowhere else. You know what I mean? Like every single month, think about it like this. Every single month that your auntie hold their property, she's literally going into, paying money to hold that property. It's hurting her to keep possession of their property. And she can, keep living in the fantasy land that she's going to eventually sell. As big as that house is, as much work has been put in, unfortunately, an investor has to come in and drop money into that house. Yeah. I think the house is beautiful the way it is and stuff. But people, those FHA buyers and all that, they want that thing to look a certain way. They want the corners to be, beaded and clean, new stove, new fridge. They have a lot of requirements on that FHA look. So they have to go in an investor. And the investor going to want to go in. He want to have it low enough to where if he make mistakes, he can make money. So what you're doing is you're saving your auntie by giving her the number that she want, right? And then she'll be able to get that number. And you're keeping her from getting with, one of them greedy investors who's going to lowball her for her property.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's very important. So it's all about first understanding what they're trying to do and giving them a solution to the problem. We don't want to give a solution before they give us what the problem is. We know the problem is they need to sell it. We know that, but we need to go deeper into that before we try to offer some solution to the problem. And then you don't even have to make an offer. Like I said, just get Justin on the phone. He'll break it down.
Trill got them contract brothers and stuff who got that high income. They're going to their house happily, them and their family, and give you 20 grand.
Making that money, man.
For real, just go talk to them about it. Get them in position before you even talk to your auntie.
Yeah.
And then use their money to close the deal. Hey, auntie, I'm serious about this. I want to take care of you. I got, 20 grand.
Money
use 20 grand to give to her.
Money talks and the rest walks. So solve the problem. Understand the problem, then solve it. That's everybody. I don't care if it's my auntie, my uncle, my nephew, whoever. It was the same process. When you start deviating off of a process, then we start thinking like, oh, man, maybe I should do it this way. Or maybe I can try to do it. No, don't overthink it, man. Just stick to the script every time. This is why we train. We fight how we train. Is that right, Justin?
I agree.
Or we train how we fight. Or we fight how we train. Either way.
They say women make your legs weak.
Woo! Like you said. So, yeah. It's always something, man. So don't try to overthink this stuff and just go with it. Same person, even if it's a person you know or don't know. Like I said, it should be easier if you know them. It should be. Keep it real, like, hey man, what happens if you don't get this sold in the next 2 or 3 months? See, these are tough questions. See, my position always, am I asking the right question? This is should be your mindset too. If you ask the right question, you'll get the right lesson. So you gotta ask. I see you've been trying to sell it for about a month or so here. What are you gonna do if it don't sell here this summer? I'm just gonna keep making payments. I don't think they're gonna say that. They're gonna say, I'm gonna have to drop the price. Yeah, there might be something, but what happens if it still don't sell? These are just questions. Yeah. What if there was a way you can get from under making that payment every month? Would that help you out at all or not really? Yeah, that'll help me. And I understand people want to get their real estate agent and say, oh, I want to use them and they've been with me forever. Hey, man, I'm just trying to solve a problem. And guess what? Your agent can get their 3% still. What big whoop? Whoop-de-doo, right? If say you can do the deal and they still get their money, what's the problem with that?
Chris, Yeah, I know he probably got concerns about like conflict of interest and all this stuff. He wouldn't have a conflict of interest at all.
Zero.
His wife could really step to the side and let the deal, because why would she want money coming out of her household to clothes, what I'm saying, paying herself.
Yeah, I ain't worried about her part.
That ain't even the hard part, right?
Yeah, I ain't worried about her. I'm worried about.
In fact, she the one that can bring the deal to her. Say, hey, I got somebody that want to buy a little creative. Nah. Then they're gonna be like, okay. And they do. People do what they agents say. I've had agents close sellers for me, but I'm not saying to do that in this situation. But
No, ain't no need to in this situation. But
I think Trev, if you build up the courage to do this right and you get it done, I think 10 years from now you're gonna be like, wow, that was 100% right. I've been cash flowing that thing. I'd have made $100,000 off that thing. You can turn that thing to a lot of things. I don't even know how many bedrooms in there. I mean, you can make a lot of this stuff in our bedrooms and stuff. You can make that into like a what they call it, Chris? Those veteran homes and stuff like that.
Yep.
Like you're not
bedroom.
Pad split, all of them. If it's that kind of a house, I mean, it's
that thing fat. That thing 3 floors of house, all finished, clean, bedrooms, basement. That thing is finished from top to bottom.
It's on a quiet little cul-de-sac too. It's on 367. It ain't over there off what's that tank back over there where where the Castle Point of Moline at, where it's at. It's over off 367. And what's over there?
It's across the street from that big
church. It's a big old church. No. Yeah, it's down the street where a big old church is. Though across the street in a little quiet little cul-de-sac.
Yeah, I'd buy that house. If you don't buy it, I will.
What they do?
I've been trying to get. I ain't put no offer or nothing on it. I've been trying to get Trell to do it.
Yeah, Trell, do it. We trying to make you do it. Because if not, if I happen to come across it, I'd be the made offer and bought the house. Be like, oh man, I know that guy. I'll sit here and watch the whole thing go by. What's the worst thing that can happen, Trell?
You just think I'm trying to take her house? That's it, I guess.
Whenever I'm facing a difficult decision, I always think, what's the worst thing that can happen?
You think you could offend her by wanting to buy her house?
No.
I'm not even saying to make an offer, though. You understand what I'm saying, right? Just have the conversation. Don't make an offer. Matter of fact, go into the operation saying, I ain't making no offer. I'm just trying to understand if we can do something to help you out. Go in truly trying to help them out. That's really what the mindset should be.
I'm going to talk to her this week. Just to see where she at.
I got this friend I want to introduce you to. He does a lot of real estate. I think he might be able to help you out.
Yep. Why are we overthinking this stuff? And the worst thing they can say is no. I want to wait it out and see what the market give me. Okay, do it. No harm, no foul.
I show up in this polo, man. It's over.
Woo! He put on his red polo and his clipboard, closing them.
Trell watched me in real time get on the phone with a guy with 100 questions.
Yeah, he's knocking them down too.
He said, you got them down. He said, what did y'all just agree to? I know a deal was made.
Matter of fact, in that instance, we have a closing call we're going to review here before we get off tonight. A review. Yeah. Did you get to hear that closing call, Justin?
No. Yeah, the last one you just sent me, I listened to it.
Oh, okay. Let me see here.
Oh, that's true. I meant to listen to that one.
Finish him. Immaculate.
If I can get it. Let's see here. How can I do this without sharing my screen too much? Do I need to download it? Let's do share this tab. I don't want to show her information, but I want to play her thing. Will that work? Let's see. Can I make this smaller? Maybe that's what I'll do. Nope, that won't do it. Yeah, that might work. I might do that way. Nope, can't do that. I'm trying to do something tricky. So let's see here. If I put this up and share the screen, you should be living the dream. Matter of fact, that's what I can do. Like that. No, like that. Here we go. I'll play it like that. Now I don't got his plan.
No, I
You
had a
hear it?
good one. Did you?
Yeah, it was great. Yeah, got a lot of stuff done. Just get caught up. That's how it always is.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
so, yeah, he was telling me you had some questions or some concerns or some things. I want to make sure we can button up everything and make sure you're happy with the whole situation here.
Well, so I actually consulted my lawyer because, of course, anytime you sign a contract, you should. But my lawyer was telling me do not sign it because all of the risk lies on me, and you guys have very little risk in it. And since my name would still be on the loan, that's why she said not to sign it.
So she said not to sign it because the risk would be on you. What would be the risk on you?
Well, first of all, because
Pausing. You see, I have to get her to clarify. First, she told me it's a risk. My attorney, well, already janky. You should always get an attorney before you sign a contract. Maybe. I don't know how I feel about that. But she said she should get an attorney before she do it. Then she says, oh, it's a risk because it's all in my name. So I made her clarify. What do you mean when you say that?
my name is on the loan, and that is the main risk. The other risks are normally when you have a buyer, kind of like when you put earnest money down, it's just money that the $100 she said is just a teeny tiny risk for you, and it doesn't, like, if the contract doesn't go through, then I have to pay that $100 back. So there is no risk monetarily at all for you there.
All right. So what she's talking about is on the contract, we put what's called EMD, earnest money deposit, $100. Ooh, I might lose that $100. And her attorney is saying that's a teeny tiny amount. This is a teeny tiny amount. And what do you think about that? Is that teeny tiny or should it be more?
I mean,
What would you say if they said that to you, Trell? Just for instance, man, you only put $100 on the earnest money. That's a teeny tiny amount.
$100 is $100.
Come on.
I want my $100. I mean, hey, that ain't teeny to me. Money is money.
What about you, Justin? Would you have something to that if she said you only put $100 on the earnest money?
So what's the problem?
It's a teeny tiny amount. That's what the attorney told her. Don't sign it because it's a teeny tiny amount.
That wouldn't stop you from moving forward, would it?
Come on with it. We don't care. So her attorney told her wrong. Say if it don't close, she got to pay the $100. So you know the attorney already out of whack. I don't know if you caught that part. She said the attorney said it's teeny tiny amount, and if the deal does not close, I have to pay that $100. So let's see how we handle that objection.
And then because my name was on the loan, if a year down the road you decide, oh, I'm not going to pay this anymore, then that's on me, not on you. So
Okay, so she's partially correct, but partially incorrect. So if the deal doesn't go,
All right, so we want to make sure that I ain't want to just say your real estate agent or real estate attorney is dumb. I just said she's partially correct and partially incorrect. Was that a softer way to say that? See, this is called tact. I've been trying to get better with that myself. Don't just smack them too hard, just smack them a little bit. Like, that's incorrect. Partially correct, partially incorrect.
for some reason, you will not owe $100 at all. The EMD or consideration simply is used to bind a contract. That's it. It has nothing to do with an amount. It can be $100,000. It can be $1. That's just to bind.
Uh-oh, did it pause? What the? It went off. Hold on. Why to stop playing? God diggity doogle. Hold on. Refresh. That's why I didn't want to put it that way. We were, what, 2 minutes and something in? Let's go back.
hello, this is Jamie.
EMD or consideration simply is used to bind a contract. That's it. It has nothing to do with an amount. It can be $100,000. It can be $1. That's just to bind the contract. So we just typically use $100 because when we buy the house, we're going to be paying closing costs, which is probably going to be about $1,500, give or take. We're paying that out of pocket. So we are taking on the risk of putting money into a house. We don't know what the situation is, like, with the sewer, et cetera. So we're taking risk just as much as anybody else, if not more, because we can buy a house that we can't even do anything with for some reason, And so if that was to happen, worst case scenario, we would transfer the house back and you can go through whatever other process you were going through.
So just to be clear too, this house is a house we're buying subject to the existing financing. I guess I should have set this up from the beginning. This is a lady that's willing to sell her house for what she owes on it. Do people be doing that? They're willing to sell their house for what she owes on it and let me take over her payments on the property over here in Florissant. Everybody loves Florissant. So, yes, but it just, when I sent her the contract, she was all like, oh, no, I ain't going to be able to do it because my attorney. And this was why we had to do this call, so I can understand her objections and knock them all down out of the park. So just to set the table right. Any questions about what y'all heard so far? All right, we're cooking.
When you were saying you were going to bankrupt it out or do that. But at this point, there's absolutely no reason to do a bankruptcy or anything to that effect because that's just not going to solve any problem. This way, if you sold the house, you're relieved of the responsibility of paying the debt. You're relieved of any maintenance, repairs, things like that in regards to the house, and you'd be able to move on and not have to worry about this house anymore. So she's partially correct but partially incorrect.
So let me ask you this. If I were to sign this contract and you transfer the deed over to your name, how long before the loan would be like you would assume the loan? Would you ever do that?
All right, that's one of them things Justin gets to get asked all the time. Justin, when we transfer this over from our name to your name, how long until you assume the loan? That was her question.
So how long before we assume the loan?
That's what she asked.
The lawyer's favorite answer. It depends.
How would you answer that, Trill?
I don't know.
Number one answer.
Enter third party story.
Enter third. That's a good answer. Enter third party story. So her concern.
Yeah, what we done in the past is blah 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 blah.
There you go. So she's wondering.
So it depends. So generally,
come on, Justin.
Years, but
wait a minute. Did I steal your answer?
How much money we gonna make on this deal?
Let me go back and make sure I heard that correct.
You transfer the deed over to your name. How long before the loan would be like you would assume the loan? Would you ever do that?
So it depends. So generally, I usually tell people somewhere between 5 and 7 years, but it just depends on the market. So, crazy things happen. Interest rates go up. In the event that interest rates come down, we usually would either refinance it or we would sell the property a few years from now when there's some equity built up. So say we paid it 2-3 years down the road and we look and say, oh, wow, the house is worth a little bit more and the debt is paid down a little bit more. Now we have equity. Now we can put it on the market and sell it. But as it sits right now, it has little to no equity, so we cannot sell it that way. So it kind of eliminates that strategy at this point.
Okay. What do you think about that rebuttal? Was that okay? It depends.
We got the job done.
For sure. So she's concerned, when will you get the loan paid off out of my name? She said assume. I could have stopped her and said, we're never assuming it, which we're not. Just for training here, we don't assume anything. We take over payments. We're not asking anybody for permission other than the seller to take over their payments. Not the bank, not some attorney, not some real estate agent. We're asking the seller. If the seller agrees with the buyer, we can do the deal.
Can I say this on that?
Yeah.
So when you're talking to people in a sales-like situation, you don't want to, when you say like no, it's like a stop, right? You stopping it. And you want to be careful with those because it's like you want to pull them to you, right? Like judo, instead of him saying, we never assume loans. Like, you don't want to put it like that because it can anger or frustrate that person. You know what I mean? No, we don't assume loans. You don't need to correct them. What we've done in the past is, or what we what we've seen, or bring it to something else where someone else has went through it or something like that, and bringing them to you instead of just a hard nose, and that stuff is argumentative.
Yeah, in fact, I don't like yeses or nos. I like a little story with every answer. You see how I'm answering it? It's almost politician-like. I'm getting like Obama, but in the Obama answers. She say, "What color is the sky?" Well, if you look up to the east, it might look a little lot of brown, but if you look up to the west, it might look a little line. You got to make a long story about a little old question that was that simple. All right, let's keep it cooking.
But a general rule of thumb I tell people is generally 5 to 7 years, but we will cash it out as soon as we can, because that's basically where we're going to make our money back on this house.
Right.
We won't make anything on it until then, especially with that higher monthly payment, which is all that stuff I have to go in and try to fix some of that stuff after the fact either way. So, that's, the attorney's going to tell you that, which they're supposed to. Is that the bankruptcy attorney?
No. This is my lawyer.
Oh, okay. Your attorney, yeah.
So I was asking that, is that your bankruptcy attorney? Because she was talking about filing bankruptcy to get out of this house. And I'm like, that's not a reason to bankrupt yourself just for a house so we can take over. You can go with life, and we improve your credit when we take over your payments. So that's why I had to ask her, is that attorney the bankruptcy attorney? And that's what she's like, no, that's another attorney. So I wanted to make sure before I slash them down and say, oh, they just trying to get you to get that bankruptcy done and get that $1,200 to $1,500. But I didn't have to.
How much is the payments on the house?
About $1,200 a month.
Oh, wait.
Well, that's because she got high insurance. She did a claim on her insurance, so they charge her like $500 a month on insurance, something like that.
So she in the sevens.
Probably, yeah. But when I put the new insurance, it's going to drop the payment a little bit more than that. So,
right.
I'll deal with all that stuff on the back end. But right now, $1,200 a month is too high.
How many bedrooms?
It's 2. 2 bedroom.
Bath?
Huh?
2 bath?
No, 2 bedroom, 1 bath, and garage, detached garage. It's a cute little house.
Detached garage in Florissant?
Yeah.
Detached
garage.
I haven't seen no detached garage just in Florissant.
I'll show you at the end of this. Remind me, I'll show you some pictures of the house.
Okay.
So and then so if you did sign a contract and we close the deal, the risk is really on us because we're putting several $1,000s into this house. We're going to fix the floors, fix anything we can fix to make it more marketable, and then we're going to cash on it for a little while until we can get some equity built up and sell it in the future. But in the meantime and in between time, you're not having to deal with that property anymore. You're on dealing with life and not thinking about it anymore. And just like, wow, we're getting these positive payments on your credit report every month, which helps you in the long run.
So I also called Freddie, my lender, and which I learned is Freddie Mac, and they said they do not do assumptions at all. So how will that work?
Well, I'm glad you asked that because.
Okay. I called my bank, and they say they don't do assumptions. How you gonna handle that?
Why she call up bank?
She calling too many people. You can call an attorney, another attorney, the bank. Everybody got a call to find out about this. But
she doesn't make sure, if you know how to handle people like this, these are the best people, because once you provide certainty to them, they ready to go. You know what I mean? Like once say she's goofy. No, she's not goofy. It's a lot of people be concerned because there's a lot of scamming stuff out here and stuff, and they want to protect themselves. And if you can, we are integrable people, we taking care of people, we helping people. So if you can get them to, once they have enough information to make a decision, they the best people to deal with, period.
Yeah, it's an analytical type. They want to know the inner work. How does this work? How does this do this? They want to know that.
She asking good questions though. She's not self-sabotaging. A lot of people self-sabotage where they just, I've been in front of people's houses and they're like, yeah, I got this attorney, blah blah blah, and I'm like, hey, the house going to foreclosure in 3 days. Oh yeah, we got it, don't worry about it. And then I drive past, I see the note on the door that they've been evicted.
Yeah, it happens all the time. But she is asking good questions, and this is why I was glad to get her on the phone Let her ask all of her questions. Understand what I was telling you earlier, Trell. Understand why she's doing what she's doing so we can overcome those obstacles. And this is the bread and butter of creative real estate. The real estate part is easy. It's handling these objections that what you need to get good at if you're going to be closing people in creative deals or anything for that matter.
Once she closed, she would never call.
Yep.
She not calling, checking up on nothing, none of that. She moving forward in her life.
And forgot that she sold the house. She gonna call back. Oh man, y'all still got that house? We rolling it, baby. Don't worry, we got you.
You qualify for, and then another thing, I'll say this last thing. Just because you qualify for an FHA loan now, you can get requalified. So she might go buy another house and that house still be going.
Yep.
Helps you in the long run.
So I also called Freddie, well, my lender, and which I learned is Freddie Mac, and they said they do not do assumptions at all. So how will that work?
Well, I'm glad you asked that because we're not doing an assumption at all. We don't assume any loans. We take over them. And this is a lot of misconception that people have when it comes to real estate and banking and things like that. The bank is a lien holder. That's it. The house is yours for all intents and purposes. You decide to sell it, decide to keep it, whatever you do is your house. The bank is simply a lien holder. Now they do not like it when somebody else takes over the payment, but it's really nothing they can do in regards to that, to be honest with you. We've taken over probably, 60 or 70 houses in the last 7 years since I've been doing this. And my mentor has done hundreds of these houses. And, a lot of people don't even know that when you buy a house, you don't necessarily have to pay that mortgage off right then and there. And so it's really a big myth when people tell you that. And so if the bank tells you that, they're supposed to tell you that. They don't want you to do that. They want to get a brand new person, come in, pay appraisal fees, pay inspection fees, pay points, all of these junk fees before you know you're $30,000 deep. And they're like, what did I pay? And they're getting a brand new loan started over from day one. So it's in their best interest to tell you, no, don't do that. Just keep paying your payment. They don't want you to do what we're talking about right here. So it's not an investment.
I'm always for the little guy. The big companies, they make millions and billions of dollars doing what they do. And I'm all for the little guys too. I'm just worried about my risk in this. If, I don't know just how some of the contract read, even to me before I contacted my lawyer about it. I was just kind of, I'd have to read it again, but.
Yeah, so just to summarize it, just to be very clean, it does have a lot of legal jargon and stuff in there. Basically, we're buying the house, leaving the loan in place, and we're going to make the payments on the house. It's just that simple. Anything beyond that is more just legal protections we have put in all our contracts when we buy these houses. Once it closes, all of that stuff won't even matter anyway because it's closed already. You don't own it anymore. It's our baby to deal with, cutting down trees, dealing with the little popcorn balls or whatever there. And anything
I hate those things.
It's our baby. You don't have to deal with it anymore. We have to deal with all the problems. And, and that's what I go in and do and clean up all this stuff. I just got a lady that was behind like $30,000 on her thing. I got all of those put on the back of her loan. We do that sometimes. We'll go take over a house and restructure the debt to where it's manageable and basically get the house stabilized. Because that's really what we want. We want a stable property, payments going to the mortgage company every month. We're making our own cash flow every month and everybody's happy. That's a perfect scenario, which works as long as the seller and the buyer, you and I, we agree on everything and understand. So like I said, I'm just being upfront with you. When we buy it, I am going to have to go in and try to get that payment reduced. And this is going to have sign some documents and stuff. That's it. That's on the back end. It doesn't have anything to do with purchasing the house, just to get your loan down and things like that. So it's not a problem at this point, but we're going to get it all cleaned up, no matter what the problems are.
Okay.
All right. We're going to stabilize the property, stabilize the loan. What you think so far, Justin?
Right. So I'll say with this part, right? A lot of people have to understand there is a science to this thing. When you are dumping, see, Chris usually don't dump a lot of information, right? But this is the time to feed certainty into a person. You're trying to bring certainty to them to let them know we in this together. This is a real thing. We take care of people. There's a time to, onto a person because you want to create certainty inside of them. You see, he's bringing her closer. He's closing her. He's creating certainty by giving her a bunch of information. But he had to fully understand what she need, what she was looking for, what she doesn't understand. And now he's like, blah, 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 blah. If you listen to his calls, he's never going to talk too much. He's only asking questions, but there is a time and a place to start to, give a person more information about what we're doing, because he has to build up certainty. And that's the part of the call that we're in right now.
For sure. Yeah. I mean, she's actually asking some good questions, and she has concerns. I want to make sure she's understanding. So the other thing too, this is a true closing call. Sometimes y'all get on the phone on a cold call and try to do all this there. They don't have their attention. I got her full undivided attention. So now I can go deeper into the weeds of all these little nuances and things and tell third-party stories and all of that, because this is the actual closing. I know she's in a closing call. This was an appointment setup. She had about 15 minutes on her lunch break to have this phone call. So I want to make sure I addressed every issue she came up with.
This your second call with her?
It's my first call with her. I met her in person. I seen the house. Okay. I've been to the house already. But then, she was all gung-ho. Yeah, we're good to go. I sent her the paperwork. She like, oh, no, my attorney and all this other stuff and all these objections that she's raising right now, which is fine. And that's why I would prefer to do it over the phone anyway, because I can let you hear it and see exactly what to do to get over these different things. Let's see what we got here. Stabilize and ease her mind. That's right, Justin. She coming along slowly. And we about to follow this method and close all summer. That's right, Trent. That's right. We finna get these deals done. It's people out here that need our help. The thing is, you got to make sure
people out here that need our help.
You say what, Justin?
It is people out here that need our help, for real.
It is.
Chris can't get to everything. For real.
Can't get to everybody.
It's too much. You pull up them foreclosures, about 30 of them on there right now.
I get emails every day. I get notification, new auction.
I do too. Straight to my phone. I'll be looking. I'm like,
is that close to me? I'm finna pass by there today. Let me knock on that door.
Right.
They live right around the corner. A dude around the corner from me did lose his house to the bank. I said, dude, he did all that. I knocked on his door. I mean, like walking distance, like not even a block and a half away. He let that thing go to auction. I'm like, dude, why are you playing? He's like, oh, I got it. Because he didn't respond. I've been in his house 3 times because he's so close. I'm like, oh, he just around the corner. I'll walk over there. Third time, he finally called back the sticky note, like, yeah, what's going on? I say, yeah, what y'all gonna do about that auction coming up? Oh, no, we got it. Well, got lost. They took it. So, part of the game.
But some people we're gonna be able to save and stuff. The people is the hardest part of this and everything. Man, look, if anybody need any kind of inspiration about this stuff is as real as it get. Last year, at this time last year, I had no investment property.
Not even a year ago, huh? And you done bought houses since then.
Man, more than 4 now.
Damn. And that's what I'm talking about, taking action.
More money.
And so for those of you also that's kind of newer or like, oh, I don't know what to say. You don't need to know what to say. Generate the lead. Get a fish on the hook. Get somebody to say, hey, yeah, I need to sell. I want to sell. Help me sell. I got some way to help you. Understand the basics. Plug them in with a closer. Why overthink the rest? I don't know what the paperwork say. I don't got a transaction coordinator or a TC. You don't need any of that. You just need to generate the lead and work the play. All right?
Documents and stuff, that's it. That's on the back end. It doesn't have anything to do with purchasing the house, just to get your loan down and things like that. So it's not a problem at this point, but we're going to get it all cleaned up no matter what the problems are.
Okay. And I think on that contract, something else, excuse me, that concerned me was it stated that was the first mortgage, and there is a second mortgage, but that was when I very first bought this house. When I went through my divorce, it was a lot on me to that's a long story. Anyway, I got behind on a payment, and they told me they wouldn't do anything unless I got behind on more than 2 or 3 payments. I can't remember. So I had to stop paying my payments for them to whatever they were doing. I don't even know.
So as you see in a closing call, it's a discovery as well. We're finding out she got more stuff going on. She got a sign a second already put on the back of the loan from when she was late some years ago. Craziness you come across. So this is why I like to truly understand people before we try to do all this so-called closing, because she got more problems than we knew about. She got about 7 problems. We can handle them all, but I need to understand all of them before I try to say, oh yeah, I'm gonna take your house, I'm gonna buy your house. I understand if the seller is willing to work with me, I can solve all of this, clean it all up, make it easy. Let me see that question they asked here. When they lose it to the auction, did you buy it or did they buy it on the back end? No, they just lost it to the bank. The bank got it or whoever bought it at auction. A lot of times these houses don't sell at auction from what I found. Do you see that too, Justin?
Oh yeah, most of them don't sell because they got most of these properties are upside down. These people be having these, 30-year mortgages and stuff, and they go out the game, 10 years in, and these houses, I believe there's rules about the debt and everything. I think the auction they have to try to get the number that they can't get no more than what's owed on the property, or I think that might be like the starting bid or whatever. So, these houses be negative equity. We able to extract value out of them with some of the strategies that we do, but most of them houses go to auction. And it was a house when I first started on the south side, Minnesota. Their house went to the auction, and I just seen a dude post a video on YouTube that he bought that house, and I watched that house go through. It probably went through about 20 auctions that I seen.
Damn, it happened.
They bringing it down.
Yeah, so basically what happens is these houses are in pre-foreclosure. The auction day comes and it gets reverted back to the lender. So nobody bidded on it at the auction enough money to buy it at the auction. So now it becomes what's called a REO, real estate owned. Now it's a bank owned property, even though banks don't really own properties. But for this training, REO, real estate owned. The bank owns it, and then they end up either putting it back out at the auction later, or they end up putting it back out as a on the MLS. But many times they put it back as an auction and try to get the money for it. One of the houses I was dealing with on the south side went to auction. That thing been back, it's still vacant. They've been trying to sell that house for a year and a half, or almost a year and a half, coming up on a year and a half. Same house. I'm like, wow, when the house go back to the bank, that's a problem. And this comes back to what we was talking about a few weeks ago when David Randolph was on here about these short sales. Banks would prefer to do a short sale early on than go through this REO process, because it could take a year and a half, 2 years, sometimes longer to get a property off the books. And that's a whole job in itself. Who wants to go through all that when they could just say, you know what, cut our losses. You owe 150, we'll take 40,000 for it, payment in full, boom, boom, bam. And it doesn't look like a negative report on their balance sheet. They want to make it look like they got positive payments on properties. These negatives or non-paying or non-performing debt is no good to banks. This hurts banks from lending out to other people. They want to get that dead debt off the books. Any questions or comments, Trill?
No.
There you go. Let's see here. She had to stop paying. Really? Yeah, that happens too. They made her stop paying to get behind so many months before they can even do a program to help her out. That's real estate. It's always some kind of little loophole. They're going to destroy your credit to fix her, to put it on the back of the loan. So she got a $5,000 second lien. So this house ARV is about, I don't know, about 150 maybe. And she owes about, I want to say it was 125, something like that. So that's no equity. 25,000 is not equity really in real estate, not in numbers that small. And then let's see here. Oh, wow, I didn't know that. What happens then to become REOs? Yep. That's exactly what they do. REO, that's why you see these bank-owned properties. And when it becomes a REO, you're now having to deal with the bank again, and you're dealing with a real estate agent, a BPO, broker's price opinion. They're going to go off some broker they're going to hire to sell the property if they put it on the MLS. It's just a whole bunch of stuff. Lo and behold, just to summarize all this, everything can be shortened. Just go direct to seller and make a deal direct with the seller. You don't have to deal with none of this crap. No proof of funds, no whole bunch of bank red tape stuff. All of these problems you can avoid going direct to seller because we don't have those same rules. This is why I teach and preach. Get a seller, get a fish on the hook.
So that's where that 5,000 came from.
Did they do a partial claim? Is that what that was? Put the on the back of the loan as a silent second?
Yes.
Yep, that's what we do for people all the time. It's very common. It's no big deal. We even do it with people that do those down payment assistance programs. None of that stuff has any effect on us buying a house whatsoever. It's still your house. These people are just lien holders. They're going to have their rules or their things that they prefer to have, but they can't make you do anything because it's still your house when the smoke. If the payment isn't made, believe me, you'll know about it because they'll bug the heck out of you.
I know. And one more thing, I'm not sure if Trent relayed this information properly, but I do still owe like $8,000 on the windows, and that is a separate thing.
Damn. So wait a minute. She owed a mortgage. She got a second mortgage. The house need a little bit of repairs, maybe a few hundred, maybe $1,000 worth of repairs or so. And then she got another mortgage. You got a lot going on. You see how
she said she knew Trail too. I'm like, how she know Trail?
Trail brought the deal. No, not Trail. Trent brought the deal. Trent brought the deal. He's on the thing too. So you see how all this can get piled up more and more and more. Like, well, wait a minute. Now she owe $8,000 on some windows, but watch how we handle this one.
I don't know how, because what I was going to do whenever I sold my property, I was just going to pay them off. And that's why I asked for, I don't know, whatever it was, $8,000 more than I owe on it, because I was just going to pay those windows off and then pay my loan off.
How much is their monthly payment on the windows?
There is not. It is just sitting there. It's not collecting interest. I don't.
Well,
on the windows.
Well, the good thing is if there's no payments and there's no anything negative happening, that'll just sit there as well. When we sell it in the future, it'll pay off as well. So that's even better.
So you notice when she mentioned that, yes, there's windows. First question, well, how much is the monthly payment on those windows? Oh, there is no monthly payment. Oh, no, there is no interest. It's just sitting there on her credit probably, but it ain't hitting that house. It's not a lien on the house. You like that one, Justin?
I do like that. That's financial literacy stuff right there, ain't it?
And this will come back all the time. You got to be asking the right questions to understand before you try to say, "Oh no, we'll pay that $8,000." So a green person would have jumped in and said, "Oh, I'll just pay the $8,000. That ain't nothing. I'll pay that." No, we don't do that kind of stuff.
It can make it complex, but we've dealt with all of this stuff. We have people with solar panels. You wouldn't believe how many people are financing these stupid solar panels on houses and making them just like this, and it's more than $8,000 on those.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm like, how did they get you into that deal? But we go in, like I say, and clean up all of this mess. Whenever things come up like that, we structure it in a way to make it a safe, clean transaction where you can move on with life and not have to deal with this stuff.
Okay, well, I just wanted to make sure that wasn't going to be a big issue, because I can probably even call them and take care of that on my own, like, get that taken care of. I don't know if they would, make a deal with me or not, but I can even do that.
Yeah, that might be better, really, because if it's not a lien attached to the house, we wouldn't even see it anyway. So that's why when we do this, when this contract is signed, it goes over to the title company. They're going to do their title search, and the lien's going to come up and show the first mortgage lien, that little $5,000 lien or whatever. It's going to pop up, and anything else, and then that's where we'll say, hey, wait a minute, what's that? We'll know. That's why we go through title to clean,
I don't even think that they've attached it to my house, but they keep sending me bills like every month, and I'm like, well, if it's not creating interest, then I don't give a shit. I'm not dealing with it right now. So
Jamie, I'm like, why am I worried about that? You can sit there, for years and it won't hurt my feelings.
Yeah.
And that's the thing about with finance and stuff. A lot of people just don't understand it. Like, oh, they sent the letter. I gotta go jump through hoops. And I'm like, no, calm down. It's just a letter. It doesn't. So and it's just, it can be complex for people looking at it for the first time. But we try to make this very straightforward and clean.
So if you're talking to a seller and they bust out laughing and they chuckling, do you think you got them at that point?
If you grin, you're in.
You say, yeah, Trail.
Yep, he sound good to me.
All right, we only got a few minutes left.
Well, the 45 days that you have for the inspection, is that a normal time frame for you guys?
No, I just put that because I didn't know when you were moving out or what. So it doesn't
Okay.
even, we can close as soon as you're ready next month. So that's going to be way shorter than 45. It's less than 45 days now already. So
Yeah.
so that's going to be null and void. That's just, we have to fill in something in these blanks. So
Yeah.
if nothing filled in there, we don't know. So let's just say we went in and found out that there was some lien on it that you or I didn't know about, because we've come across this stuff. So somebody
Right.
can have a car accident, and since this property is in your name, somebody could sue you and say, you hit my car, and you'd be like, what's this $40,000 lien on my house that you didn't know about? It happens. So that's why we
Yeah.
put time on there, so that there is some type of lien or something that pops up, we can go get that cleaned up prior to closing.
Okay. Gotcha. Let me look over this again. I know that the dates are off on it because I think you had sent like something around the 23rd or something. So I would have to probably have a different date on that contract. But I do want to look at it again.
I change it to the 30th or sooner. So, anytime before the end of next month. As long as they do their title work and they say it's clean, we just tell them what day we want to close, and we close that day. It's really that. So it's not,
Okay.
yeah, we're really flexible on this stuff. We close on your time frame. We don't want to make this stressful because it's stressful enough.
Yeah.
And, we start playing with dates and everything. It just makes it hard for everybody. So we keep flexibility.
Okay. All right. Well, I just know that once you sign a contract, everything on that contract is it. There's no matter what you and I talk about, that contract is it.
For sure.
So
Well,
that's
Is that true? Once you signed a contract, is that it? Trail?
I thought so.
No.
Huh?
No.
We're in a relationship for a couple of years.
Or at least a few, well, for the contract, say a couple of weeks. Because we haven't closed yet.
Okay.
The purchase agreement is just an agreement. The seller agrees to sell it to the buyer, and the buyer agrees to buy it from the seller. Now, let's just say we go in at $150,000, but we say, you know what, we can't pay that because something happened. We can pay $140,000. We would simply do additional document called an addendum to change the purchase price. Or we want to change the closing date, an addendum to change the closing date. We can do a document to change anything on this document, and that's what I would use in the event I'm going to change anything on this document. And this happens all the time. If we want to change anything, I'm not having them sign a whole new document. I'm going to do a one-page change document to change whatever we need to change. Everything else stays intact. Make sense?
Yep.
So what she's saying is, totally incorrect. We're like, oh, well, I mean, I guess you could say that, but let's just say we didn't want to say we signed a contract, which we did, by the way. This contract is signed in an escrow now. Let's say we did sign a contract and she didn't want to sell it anymore. What could we do?
Can she cancel it?
If she don't want to sell it and I still want to buy it, I'm like, nah, man, I want to buy it. What you mean you don't want to sell it no more? What could we do? Justin might know. Maybe not. He looked puzzled.
We can sue her.
What could we do?
Sue her.
Sue them for specific performance. But do you want to go through all of that? You can. Because you didn't perform on the contract. You sue a person or an entity for a specific performance. But that's getting down in the weeds of all of this stuff. You don't have to go that far down. I'm just thinking, this stuff exists. There's an answer to just about anything you come across in real estate.
I would say most people don't understand that a suit, don't necessarily mean like for money, but you can actually get them to do some type of action. Suit action. You should look at those two at the same thing. You can sue a person and make a judge force them to go into whatever action based on the suit. They don't have to necessarily spend. It don't have to be money per se.
You could sue for money or something different. You know, it just depends on you want to change something. You know, that's when you start getting into legal mumbo jumbo. But this is why we use this 12-page contract, because we addressed everything in the legal mumbo jumbo. Anything you could think of. This is why we use the paperwork that makes the paperwork that you can get at futurecashflowclub.com. This is why we have ironclad contracts. They really address everything. Like he says here, memorandum. Our contract states on it that we can put a memorandum on your property. We told you in the contract. You agreed and gave us permission to put a memorandum of record on your property. Now, a memorandum just clouds the title temporarily until it gets, something happens and we resolve it. But they got their permission on our original purchase agreement. We got their permission to put their property on the multiple listing service or any MLS for that purpose, right in our original purchase agreement. Everybody purchase agreement don't have that on it. So this is why we got to do it. We got to be safe and make it happen. This is really good and clear. Yep. It's a whole headache. She doesn't know. At this point, she's trusting Chris at his expertise. You should trust me. I'm very trustworthy.
That's why I look at that like.
So it's two sides of that. So let's just say for some reason we don't close. For say, like I said, a lien pops up. Say there's $100,000 lien that you and I don't know about.
Yeah.
Where did this come from? We're probably not going to close if we can't get that cleaned up.
Right. I
I
understand that.
So we're going to back out. But let's just say something happens and you can't close for some reason. Like, hey, I need an extension, or I need to close in July. We have the flexibility in the contract to be able to change that. So It's already set up in a way to be flexible to deal with whatever issues come up. Because issues come up. It's just part of life. There's no way to predict everything that's going to go right. We want to make it as easy as possible, but life happens. We try to make it easy for you, though. So that's our main.
I totally get it, because life is like that. Well, probably for everybody, but we feel like it's just us. Okay. Let me read over the contract again, and I will. I'm working from home all week this week because I have my grandson. So. Okay. Cool. But.
Yeah,
normally I would.
If you have any questions, feel free to ask. There's no such thing as a stupid question. But just like I say, to be honest with you, even if something happened and it wasn't, whatever it was, we still have to close. There's going to be a host. Everything on that contract is basically saying what we agreed to. The title company creates a document to say these people agreed to this particular thing. They draw up the legal documentation. This just shows that we agreed on something from the beginning so that they can create those legal documents. That's all a purchase contract is. It's a meeting of the minds. That's what they call it. The meeting of the minds.
Okay. Well, I feel a lot better now that I talked to you. Because, I don't know. I guess my lawyer just freaks me out with all that stuff that I don't know about. What?
Lawyers are professional deal messer uppers. And so are real estate agents in most cases. I'm serious. Like, I deal with them and I try to work with them as well. And, we'll go through all of this stuff. And I talk to attorneys and I've talked to all these people and they come back with all this stuff. And it's like, what are you worried about? You're talking about something that doesn't even matter. Like, whatever's going to happen in life. So we can't control it, but we will do everything in our power to, put you in a better position than what we found.
And make some money doing it. I'm cool with that.
We get paid somewhere down the line. It's not going to be any time. We get paid somewhere.
I know. And I, like I said, I'm always for the little guy. I would rather give you any money that I'm going to pay out and help the little guy than the big guy. So
we appreciate it for sure. We're going to help you get back in a better position too. So I just like to make win-win situations. I don't want anybody losing their house to the bank, because the bank don't want the house. And we see so many houses go to foreclosure. I don't know if I told you that, but that's really my specialty. I stop auctions for people and go in and clean up all of this mess. So it's way deeper than what you're in. You're like in baby mode. I've dealt with people 2 days before the auction. Like, you waited all this time to wait to call me? Let me see if I can finish it on. I come in and save the day, and they're looking at me like Superman.
That's what you should nickname yourself, Chris Superman.
Exactly.
Dun, 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 dun.
Yeah.
We try to make everybody happy. So.
Well, I appreciate that. I think it's just
think that's it, but I don't know why this thing keeps doing this. It's only like 30 seconds left. Let me see if there's anything good. Probably not.
Hello, this is Jamie.
Auctions for people and go in and clean up all of this mess. So it's way deeper than what you're in. You're like in baby mode. I've dealt with people 2 days before the auction, like, you waited all this time to wait to call me? Let me see if I can figure it out. I come in and save the day, and they're looking at me like Superman.
That's what you should nickname yourself, Chris Superman.
Exactly. I feel like it sometimes. So
yeah,
I'm gonna try to make everybody happy. So.
Well, I appreciate that. I think it's just a new concept for. I mean, you guys may have been doing this for years, but it's a new concept for me. So I guess I just had a lot of, I don't know, worries about it, and you know. So, well, I'm glad that you called me.
Yeah, so like I said, if you have any questions or anything, you can text or call anytime. I'll be more than happy to see if I can answer any questions. And you get that signed over, we'll get it turned into title. They'll start their title search. And then once they got everything clean and we know what's going on, we'll be ready to close it when you are. Really
perfect. Okay. All right. Thank you, Chris. I appreciate your time.
Thank you. You have a good day. Don't work too hard.
I won't. Thanks. Bye.
All right, that's what we do. We get them closed up. Now, question of the day, Trent. How long do you think it took before she signed that contract after this phone call?
Me?
Yeah, how long do you think it took before she signed that contract?
Oh, she probably signed that same night.
Right then and there, 2 minutes and 2 seconds.
Yeah, she was on. You had her.
That's right. But she was trying to back out, trying to get out of it, trying to say, no, I don't want to do it. But a simple closing call can resolve many questions, comments, concerns. Very important to take the time, make sure they're focused and they're talking to you and they got their full attention before you try to hit them with all this stuff. Because this is a lot. It can be a lot to a person that never heard of it. But
I would hit it with that. Is there any reason that you wouldn't be able to get that paperwork over to me tonight? No, there's not. I'm ready.
Yep. That's an assurance close. You know, yeah, you can definitely reassure that they ready. You know, already been to the house, everything.
She's still living in that house?
She's still living there.
Where was she gonna move to? Or how was her moving situation?
She's moving somewhere already. She can't wait to get out of there.
Yeah.
From what I understand. Can't wait to go. Let me see if I can get you some pictures. I don't know if I can or not. Let's see. Any questions about that call? Questions, comments, concerns, thoughts.
What's your exit strategy on that?
From right now, I'm thinking I'm going to buy the house. I'm probably going to use it as a furnished rental because if the rent is too high, that $1,200 is too much. I could use it as a furnished rental and get probably $2,500 a month or something like that. So I'm thinking I'm going to do a furnished rental. Or I can just sell to somebody that want to live in it. So I got multiple exit strategies. You know, I like them all. Rent to own. You can also do the furnished rental.
Bed, one bath. Man. What street was that on?
I don't know. I'm finna pull it up now. That's what I can't remember. What street was that on? That's on.
They got too many houses at play.
I got a whole bunch of houses in here. I'm looking at all like, golly, is this it? There it is. Boom. So this is what. Let me see if I can make this show on the screen. I'm doing this computer stuff, make everything tougher. So if I do share present, I'm gonna stop that screen and start a new screen. Window, can I do that? Boom, there we go, share. There's your house. Ta-da. So that's the detached garage. It's an oversized garage too. Was that you?
That's ugly.
It is ugly. The ugliest houses make the most money. This how it look when they bought it.
And she got them laid out.
Huh?
It still look like that?
Yeah, it just got her stuff in there, her furniture and stuff. But it looked just like that. I don't like ugly wallpaper and stuff, but you know.
You can knock that wall out.
Perfect. It looked just like that. Got a little fireplace in that little back room. It's only a 2-bedroom. It's an easy maintenance house.
It's gonna do good as a furnished rental.
Yeah.
And there's no basement there either.
Oh, it's on a slab?
The washer, dryer, the water heater, and furnace, all right there in that little room.
She was never gonna be able to steal this house.
Big old backyard. It's on a cul-de-sac too. It's back away. You wouldn't even know a street back there. Nice little patio area.
She was never gonna be able to steal this house.
Yeah, she knows that though. The thing is, I'm glad she knew that.
That garage detached?
Detached garage, a car and a half can fit in there.
In front of the house?
Mm-hmm.
She wasn't gonna be able to give this house away.
You never know. Well, it takes a creative person like me or you, Justin, that can even handle this. It don't need it needs some floors in the hallway, but I mean, what's that? It's like very minor. You don't need nothing major from what I could tell. And like Chris said, we was talking to her during Memorial Day weekend, never a day off. Yep, this is on Memorial Day weekend. For sure. Last weekend. You remain calm and listen and let her talk. That's something too to keep in mind, y'all. Sometimes people just want to let be heard. Can you let them vent and just say, "Oh, somebody cares. Somebody listened to what I was thinking about." That's part of closing. So it's a cute house. Yeah, I don't think nothing wrong with the house. It sits back. But one of the houses I made the most money on sat back like this. It didn't have a garage in the front. That little house I had at 4450 South Compton, that's still sitting vacant. The one that I had lost I didn't really lose it. That had a fire damage. The house made me about $100,000 on a little house that nobody else could touch. I bought the house, not this house, the house on the south side. I bought the house for about $1,200 out of pocket. I put in a tenant buyer. He gave me $5,000 down. He lived there for about 6 months. He moved out. I put a new tenant buyer in. He gave me $10,000 down on the same house I never did nothing to, never cleaned it out. Rented it for about a year and a half, 2 years. Then a fire happened. I got a big old check. Well, it was a big old check to me. It was $75,000 check on a house that had about a $35,000 loan on it. So I paid the house off. Then I ended up selling the house on the back end to somebody for like $10,000, and I got another $15,000 in loss of rents on the insurance claim. So that same little raggedy house that sat back ugly like this made me $100,000 in South St. Louis. Nobody else could have did that. Well, I don't want to say nobody, but the average person that do this thing called real estate could have never did that on that little house. And it was ugly, sitting back just like this. Target the holidays and weekends. Yep, that's when you can catch people at home. That's when you can catch them. Any other questions, comments, concerns? Because it's past my bedtime. I got food in there to eat and everything. Shay, baby, you eating already? She's like, nah. She think I'm off, but I'm still on. All right. So before we land this plane, I got to ask one thing. Justin Holmes, this question's for you. Are you ready?
Yes, sir.
What have you learned today?
What did I learn today? I learned that I don't know. Come back to me. Go to.
The one question I asked you earlier, you didn't know, didn't you? When I was there, you looked at puzzled or whatever that was. I don't remember what it was.
I know what I learned today, man.
What you learned, Trent? Drop something heavy on.
I learned that contracts don't mean nothing until you close.
Come on. Hey, that's reality.
You know, change anything on it.
That's true. You can enforce a contract. You can enforce a contract, but that's just another legal action. That's contract law. You got to get attorneys and judges involved and all of that. Sometimes it ain't even worth all of that. But if it is worth it, I say go for it. But yeah, you're right. Contracts can sometimes be worth nothing. Can be if you don't know what to do with it after the fact. Anything else you learned today?
What else? I like when you said something. You said a purchase contract is just a meeting of the mind.
It's a meeting of the minds. That's all it is.
I like that.
2 people or more have agreed on something, and we turn that in as instructions to the title company to draw up the legal documents to make it come to fruition. That's all it is. That's it. Yep. The meeting of the minds. We have to agree on something. You agree to sell it. I agree to buy it. Let's go. Let's try it. So what do we need to have a contract to be valid, Justin? You know this one.
Consideration.
And what else?
For a contract to be valid?
It's going back to the Jeopardy we was playing.
All right, so you need there's 3 parts. So you have an agreement, you have consideration, and you have I don't know. It's missing me.
Trell, do you know what you're going to need to make a contract valid? You want to take a shot at it?
You say purchase, consideration. So purchase is just the price, like the purchase price.
Agreement, paperwork.
What's the consideration? What's that?
All right, let's clean it all up. Let me see if somebody got in the chat. Let me make sure they might have had it in here. They cheated. Nope, they didn't. Okay. So you need 3 things basically to make a contract valid. And it's an offer.
Offer, right.
An acceptance, and then consideration.
Right.
Offer, somebody offered you $100,000 for the house. Acceptance, I accept your $100,000 for the house. And then consideration, that's usually in real estate, EMD or earnest money deposit. That's the consideration that binds the contract to make it valid. Without the consideration, it's not valid. Boom, boom, boom. $1. She made $1 on it. Let's see. I learned that there's typically a solution. Just needs the right mindset. Come on with it. That's all we need. If you think you can or you think you can't, either way, you're correct. I always think I can. I don't try to go in thinking, oh, I ain't going to be able to do it, man. I ain't going to be able to do it. I say, I'm going to find a way to do it. What are you looking to accomplish? Let's see if we can find a way to help you accomplish that. It's just that simple. Why overthink it? You got another one, Justin or Trell? Either one?
No, sir.
All right. Well, hopefully you all got some good sauce, some good nuggets. And the game is open for those who see it. You got to step out here and make some noise and let these people know you're here to help them out. Whether you have all the answers or not. I don't even have all the answers. They can come to some stuff and I'll be like, I don't know, but I'm going to help you find it out. And they can feel that off of you, that you're truly here to help them out. You don't have to be the know-it-all wizard. I know all the answers of everything in real estate. Nobody does. Because every market got different little nuances and different things you got to do. So don't always feel like you have to know all the answers before you take the first step. Because the journey of 1,000 miles begins with the first step. Are you willing to take that first step? Take it or make it. So before we land, I want to remind everybody coming up on the 20th of June, Justin getting happy now. We got a local in-person belly-to-belly meetup Saturday, June 20th, 4 to 7 p.m. at the Foundry in Midtown St. Louis. If you're in the Lou or if you're nearby in striking distance, come on by and say hi. Take some photos, and we'll get it going from there. So we're going to get this thing popping live. We do these other meetups here and virtually 7 o'clock Central Time, 8 o'clock Eastern here on Sunday night, weekly accountability. I want to thank everybody that joined in, and hopefully y'all have a good rest of your evening. And go make some noise out here. Really just go talk to some sellers. Go call somebody on the foreclosure list and just see, hey, you made any decisions on what you plan on doing? Ask questions, be curious, and truly look to help them out. Don't just go in trying to be greedy. I'm trying to take your house for $2 that's worth $1 million. Thank you as well. We appreciate you all. Don't forget to give this video a thumbs up, give it a like, give it a share if you care, and I will catch y'all on the next one. So with all that being said, do what you do, be who you be, and I'll see you before you see me. So yes, I basically just wanted to remind everybody exactly how the Future Cash Flow Club works, because I've been getting a lot of messages like, what is that about? How does it work? It's basically a group. So you see how I do these live seller calls, things like that. You get to get all the replays for all of those. You actually can get the paperwork, purchase agreements, assignment agreements, cancellation agreements, addendums, all of that stuff that you need if you sign up for the elite package. at futurecashflowclub.com, or if easier, it's probably you can just go check it out for a free trial. Lots of goodies in there, behind the scenes stuff, actual help with your deals. If you want to communicate, say, hey, I'm stuck on a deal, I need some help, I'm looking for lenders, I'm looking for whatever, I'm a resource for you. So all you have to do is be part of the club. futurecashflowclub.com. Check it out.
So I want to get into real estate, but don't know where to start.
Well, what I would say is to join the Future Cash Flow Club. It's a community of investors where we talk about wholesaling, we talk about creative deal structuring, buying houses subject to, all of the creative stuff that everybody's talking about. You don't need a real estate license or any of that.
Wow, where do I sign up?
Well, I would say go to futurecashflowclub.com. That's futurecashflowclub.com. You can even get a free trial. Try it out today. I don't know what you've been doing. You've been asleep? Let me wake you up with something. Straight up. Yeah. Allow me to reintroduce myself. I'm Chris Monroe. R to the O-E. I flip houses, rent cars, and make money. You know I'm not no motherfucker dummy. This